Hello everyone, my name is Balksha. In this video, we'll be looking at simple future tense. So let's go. As usual, we'll start the session by the definition of simple future tense. I'll be explaining them in two ways. First one will be briefly and the other one will be so simple. Let's start with the briefly explanation. The simple future tense form of a verb expresses an action or a state in the future and is formed by adding will or shall before the base verb. Okay? For this one, we know the briefly explanation of simple future tense. So let's move on with the shortly one. For this one, I'll be using the help of a timeline. If you may closely look that, there is 3 points which are pointing at past, now and future. Right? Okay. Now is a verb or an action happening in this particular time. Future is a verb or an action is going to be happen. Okay? So as we know the definition of simple future tense in the both way of briefly explanation and the simple explanation, let's move on with the Okay, let's bring the examples. Simple future tense is divided into 3 parts. We write it in 3 parts like positive sentence, negative sentence and question sentence. Okay, let's start with the positive sentence. We will see him. Over here, will is a word representing simple future tense. How will we write that sentence in a negative sentence, in a negative form? Yes, it will be like we will not see him. Over here, only little bit changes we are doing here, which is when you find out the word which is representing simple future tense, after it simply you just write not. So the sentence will be changed into a negative format. How will we write in a question format? Yes, we'll write like will, or the word which is representing simple future tense will come at the first and the subject will go second. Let's move on with the other 3 sentences. She will come. Over here, what is the word representing simple future tense? Yes, it is will. How will we write them in a negative sentence? Yes, we write it like she will not come. So let's move on. How will we write it in a question format? We'll write like will and the she or the subject will go the second place. Okay? So the sentence will be changed into will she come? I shall allow it. Over here, what is a word representing simple future tense? Yes, it is shall. How will we write it in a negative sentence? Yes, we'll write like I shall not allow it. How will we write in a question format? Yes, we'll write it as shall I allow it. I will open the door. How will we write it in a negative sentence? We write it like I will not open the door. How will we write it like in a question format? We'll write like will I open the door? But don't forget that at the end of the question format or the question sentence in simple future tense, you guys have to add a question mark. Okay? That makes the sentence complete. Now let's move on. Okay, as we've come to the end of our session, we'll have an activity to recap on what is a simple future tense. sentences on your screen, right? That's like you will arrive soon. We shall not clip the dog's nail. Will he bite strangers? You guys had to point out whether they are a positive sentence or a negative sentence or in a question format. And you guys had to write the other two formats. How will you write in that sentence? Let's move on with the answers. Okay, now let's discuss the answers. The first one, you will arrive soon. Over here, what do you think? Which format is it in? Yes, it is in a positive format. If you have guessed it is in a positive format, you guys are correct. Let's move on. How will it be in a negative sentence? Let's check your answers. You will not arrive soon. That's how you write in the negative format. How, if you closely look at will, after will, I'm using not. That makes the sentence as a negative format. Let's move on. How will it look like in a question format? Let's see. Will you arrive soon? Like over here, we just put the word which is showing or representing simple future tense at the first and the subject in the second one. And don't forget, you guys have to draw or write a question mark at the end of the sentence you're writing in. That makes the sentence complete. Let's move on with the second one. We shall not clip the dog's nails. What question or what is the format on? Yes, it is on a negative format. That's because we use not in that sentence. So that makes it a negative sentence. How will it look on a positive manner? Let's see. We shall clip the dog's nails. We just simply cut or erase the not in that sentence. How will it look in a question format? Let's check. Shall we clip the dog's nails? Again, we're using the word which is representing or showing simple future tense. We're putting that in the first and the subject is going in the second place. Okay, let's move on with the third one. Will he bite strangers? What question is or in this format is it in? Yes, it's in a question format. That's because will, which is a word representing the or representing or showing the simple future tense will be at the first, which is will, and the subject will go in the second, which is he. So that is a question one. How will we look like in a positive one? Let's see. He will bite strangers. Over here, we just replace the place of the will and he. He goes in the first one and will go in the second place. Okay, they just replace. How will it look in a negative sentence? Let's see. He will not bite strangers. How will that be in a negative format? How? If you ask, after will, which is a word representing simple future tense, we add not. So not makes the sentence as a negative sentence. Okay, as we've come to the end of our session, I hope you understand the simple future tense. And now, as we hope you cleared all your doubts on this. So let's see in the next video. Bye for now.